Greetings and salutations, my good friends. This is yours truly, Light Liger here with yet another investigation. And today we're going to be looking into a platform called Polymarket, which is currently on beta. And what exactly is Polymarket? Well, to use their own words, information markets platform harnessing the power of free markets to demystify the real-world events that matter most to you. And to put it bluntly, it is basically a betting platform on multiple things, such as the elections, which will be the focus of this video. There's other prediction markets here for Bitcoin, Filecoin for instance, and some celebrity events like Diggs, when his new album coming out, well, Kim and Kanye divorce, and etc. But that's not what we're going to be focusing here today. We're going to be focusing on one particular case, which was gotten a lot of drama, and people can make their own conclusions. Was it fair or not? But definitely it's something to look into if you're going to be, investing in this platform in the future. So this particular case was regarding, will Trump win the 2020 US election? And basically what they did is they issued Medium post that they're going to be closing in because the sources that they listed, CNN, and also Associated Press and the Wall Street Journal, which all, by the way, aside from the Associated Press, I kind of detest. But I mean, they already stated that those are going to be used as sources in the actual post, so they didn't change the idea that, hey, we're going to be using another source. But the problem here is that they closed the market, so you're not able to anymore trade your position. And that's the problem here, because when you display here the market ends on November 20th, you have to honor that deal. When you're going to be saying you can trade till November 20th, well, then you should be able to trade till November 20th. And they said in the Medium post, well, it's not a problem because the winners are not able to withdraw their funds until November 20th. Well, that's not really the point here. The point is that you shouldn't close the markets prior to the actual date. This is normal to a lot of the other ones, such as the yield wars. They had a specific date when the trading would close. Catnip does allow you to trade till the January, and even, this should be, in general, I support decentralized ideas and selection and, decentralized also conclusions. Claros Course is a good example of something that could have been leveraged on this platform, but actually it may appear to be a decentralized platform, but in truly it is centralized because they can just close the markets prior to the actual market end date, which is totally immoral in my opinion. And then there's also the thing that in the website that they say the markets listed here are for informational purposes. We do not take profits from them, but it doesn't actually note that are the investors themselves actually investing. The owners, are they investing in these markets? That's not what this tagline really tells us, and that's where we believe there is some foul play here. Also, given the fact that it seems that the actual team might be actual Democrats, and they did indeed vote for Biden. And there's some evidence that supports that idea. We're going to be exploring that in this video, obviously. So one of the things I do want to state out from the very get-go, in case you're going to be filing an SEC lawsuit or a report, the team is actually based on New York City, which is very strict crypto law, so they can get into a lot of trouble. And one of them lives in Boston. So 4 of the team members are living in basically United States, in New York area, and the other 2 are basically, I believe, the dude from Hong Kong, and the guy from Italy is just the UI or something like that. They're not exactly there in the actual ideological infrastructure. I don't know. This is, what I digged up, basically. And there were some interesting quotes also that I was able to find out on a couple of articles. Oh, by the way, these guys got 4 million. and that 4 million can turn into dust because the reputation can go into shatters when you do things like these. So let's kind of decipher what they said here. So the Polymarket says one of the biggest problems with social media and discourse in the internet today is the lack of accountability. So, I mean, are you going to be accountable for this? Are you going to be paying back the people, or are you going to be reopening the market so they can trade their positions still? What are you exactly going to be doing and accountable for actually pre-closing the thing? And the thing is, they just closed it like snap. They didn't give any prior announcement like 5 minutes early or 10 minutes early or 5 hours early that, hey, we're going to be closing this early because we have already the data. That's something you should have told to your community, okay? If you want to be closing it early, you have to get a consensus. This is where the governance tokens come on board. And this is why I absolutely detest these centralized platforms, because they just can do all of these fucked up things out of the get-go, and nobody can do anything now about the situation because they have closed the trading for the smart contract. And there was another post on Crypto Briefing. The latest crypto prediction market wants to address fake news and misinformation. I mean, being the arbiter, look, a gambling platform or any finance platform wanting to take part in politics is major red signal. Those never should be mixed in together. That's why the world is so bad right now, because they have mixed together. And, so that always, when you say we're going to combat fake news, that's exactly what major leftist parties always say and Democrats say. It essentially translates, we want to close all right-wing views types of websites. That's what it basically means. There's also a another quote here on the post that says, let me find it in a second. So, through these market provide crypto investors with a way to earn money, Polymarket also plans to use this activity for larger purpose, fighting misinformation. So once again, that political agenda comes on board. And as I did say already, if I didn't, they are from New York. New York is overwhelmingly a blue state. I mean, everything about, I mean, it seems that the team's definitely Democrats. They voted for Biden, and they closed it so they could cash out the money, make it so that it would not be moving anymore, and they could leverage the situation with their shares and hence make the most out of money when the actual smart contract unlocks. And by the way, I don't actually know there's any audits for their smart contracts for the getter, so that's a big question. So, I mean, what I'm getting here is that, I mean, a lot of people are really, really mad about this. Some of the people obviously didn't like the fact that they used these sources, CNN, Associated Press, and, the Wall Street Journal. All of these, which are, by the way, heavily pro-Biden. And I do want to say that in future, I would just have like arbiters which are decentralized. Why do we have to use centralized sources, which is something that they constantly want to use? So in a lot of these other different things, they actually want to use sources like the CNN and etc. You can definitely look in all of this, and you have to understand that it was $10 million of USDC of volume in this trade, and a lot of people lost their money. They would have made, they could have sold the shares at 1 cent or something. Still, they would have made some money back if it would be running till the November 20th. But this by auto default converts it into 0. And I think this is absolutely immoral, shows the flaws of centralized planning. And this is why we need governance tokens, why we need decentralized sources and vetting. And, I definitely will not be using Polymarket in the future. FYI, I didn't use it on this one. I used Catnip Exchange and also Omen, because Omen, they had the thing like, hey, we're going to be using Claros, which is the best way to do it. But, what do you think about the situation? Well, I don't know. And the last thing I do want to talk about very quickly before we wrap up is that they opened a new one. So they said, well, the good news is that we opened a new poll here. So it just totally contradicts. If you believe Biden won, why you're opening a new poll that Donald Trump will not be inaugurated. So, and the other thing also is that during the November 20th, till the November 20th, CNN or the Wall Street Journal or any one of these can change their statements and say, okay, we did the wrong counting, we got wrong information, and this new data shows us that something, actually was done wrong in the election. So you have to give also the publications to remedy and fix their actual dates. So it's not dates, but actual their conclusions. So there are times when people come out and forward, as I had, some accuse the project being a scam, and then I have come out forward and said, okay, it's not a scam actually. So there has to be a time for also the media to actually retract their statements in case something happens of a nature like voter fraud or etc. But we're not going to be blab any longer. I would like to know what you think about this. And I will see you guys next time on the next video. If you want to support future investigations, here is my Ethereum address where you can send some tokens as a thank you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.